I still remember the exact moment I realized I was lost. Not lost because I had no dreams, but lost because I had too many dreams and absolutely no path to reach them. Every morning I woke up with hope. I told myself that today would be different, that today I would finally move closer to the life I imagined. My head was full of ambition, plans, and future versions of myself that looked confident, successful, and fulfilled. But then the day would pass. I would do a few random tasks, watch a few videos, think a lot, overthink even more. And when night came, I would lie in bed with the same feeling every single time: regret. Regret because I didn't do enough. Regret because I delayed again. Regret because deep down I knew I had potential, but I couldn't understand why my life never changed. And if I'm being honest, I know many of you listening right now have lived in that same cycle. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not weak. You care. You want more. But somehow, you keep ending your days feeling disappointed in yourself. The painful truth I had to face was this: the world never gives you a manual for achievement. School doesn't give it to you. College doesn't give it to you. Society just throws empty advice at you and expects you to figure out the rest. Work hard. Be patient. Stay motivated. I heard those words my entire life. I believed them. I followed them. And they failed me. No one ever told me what to do when motivation disappeared. No one explained how to deal with fear when it showed up in my mind. No one taught me how to use my brain when self-doubt became louder than my dreams. And no one showed me how to organize my days when everything felt chaotic and overwhelming. So every time I failed, I thought the problem was me. I thought I wasn't strong enough, disciplined enough, or talented enough. The real awakening came when I finally understood something simple but brutal. Achievement is not luck. It's not talent. It's not inspiration. It's a system. The people who build powerful lives don't rely on feelings. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't depend on motivation. They operate with structure. They know exactly what to do when they wake up, what to focus on, and how to move forward even on bad days. That realization changed everything for me. I stopped asking, "Why am I not successful yet?" and started asking, "What system am I following?" And the answer was uncomfortable. I didn't have one. I was living randomly, reacting to life instead of directing it. Once I saw that, I made a decision. I would stop chasing motivation and start building a blueprint. That's what this video is about. This is not temporary inspiration. This is not hype. This is a system. It won't be easy. It won't be fast. But it will be real. And if you apply it consistently, your life cannot stay the same. Remember this as we continue. If you don't build a system, your life will be built by chance. For a long time, I believed something was wrong with me. I told myself I was lazy, undisciplined, weak, or simply not built for success. Every time I tried to change my life and failed, that belief became stronger. If you've ever thought, "Why can others do it but I can't?" This part is for you, because here's the truth that changed everything for me. Your brain is not broken. It is untrained. Most people never learn this. Your brain was not designed to make you successful, confident, or ambitious. Your brain was designed to keep you alive. Its main job is safety, not achievement. Thousands of years ago, this was useful. If something felt unfamiliar, uncomfortable, or risky, the brain reacted with fear to protect you. But today, that same system works against you. When you try to improve your life, learn a new skill, speak up, change routines, or chase a bigger future, your brain interprets that change as danger. That's why fear shows up when you want to move forward. That's why procrastination appears exactly when something matters. That's why self-doubt whispers, "What if you fail?" Or "You're not ready yet." Your brain is not attacking you. It's doing its job too well. The problem is not your ability. The problem is that your brain is still protecting an old version of you that feels familiar, even if that version is unhappy. Think about someone starting the gym for the first time. On day one, their brain screams, "This is uncomfortable." Stop. Their body feels heavy. Their mind looks for excuses. By day 3, it feels worse. By day 5, they want to quit. Most people stop here and say, "I'm just not disciplined." But that's not the truth. The truth is their brain has not adapted yet. It's still fighting the change. Now imagine that same person forces themselves to show up anyway. 10 minutes of walking. A short workout. Nothing heroic. Just repetition. After 1 week, the resistance is still there, but weaker. After 2 weeks, the action feels familiar. After a month, something strange happens. Their brain stops panicking. The gym no longer feels dangerous. It starts to feel normal. That's not motivation. That's neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you repeatedly do. Your brain doesn't care what you promise. It doesn't care what you want. It only responds to patterns. Repeated action tells your brain, this is safe now. This is who we are. Over time, behavior creates identity. Identity creates consistency. This is where most people get it wrong. They wait to feel motivated before they act. They wait to believe in themselves before they start. But belief does not come first. Action does. The people who win in life don't feel confident at the beginning. They train confidence by doing uncomfortable things repeatedly until the brain adapts. The difference between someone who changes their life and someone who stays stuck is not intelligence or talent. It's who understands this rule. One person waits for motivation and never starts. The other starts without motivation and trains their brain to follow. Every small action you repeat is a vote for a new identity. When you study even when you don't feel like it, your brain learns, I am someone who shows up. When you work out tired, your brain learns, I am disciplined. When you practice a skill while doubting yourself, your brain learns, I don't quit. Over time, that identity becomes automatic. This is why success always begins with doing before believing. You don't need confidence to take action. You take action to build confidence. You don't need discipline to start. You start to build discipline. Your brain will follow if you lead it through repetition. Remember this as you move forward. Your brain doesn't change by thinking. It changes by repetition. For a long time, this was the real reason I stayed stuck, and it's the same reason most people never achieve anything meaningful. It's not lack of talent. It's not bad luck. It's not a weak mindset. It's living in confusion. Waking up every day with vague wishes instead of clear decisions. The brain does not work with blurry goals. It cannot move toward a better life, more success, or being happier someday. Those are dreams, not directions. And dreaming without deciding is dangerous because it feels productive while changing nothing. You think about your future, you imagine it, you talk about it, and your brain relaxes. It thinks, good enough. No action required. This is the difference between dreaming and deciding. Dreaming sounds like, I hope one day I'll be successful. Deciding sounds like, this is what I'm building, and this is the direction I'm moving, starting now. Dreaming is emotional. Deciding is structural. Dreaming feels good. Deciding creates pressure, responsibility, and movement. When you don't decide, your brain defaults to comfort. It chooses familiar habits, easy distractions, and short-term pleasure. That's not weakness. That's biology. But the moment you decide clearly, something shifts. Your brain finally has a target. It starts filtering information differently. You notice opportunities you used to ignore. You feel uncomfortable in places you once tolerated. Confusion fades and direction begins. This is why writing your goals daily matters so much. Writing is not a motivational trick. It's a neurological command. When you write the same goal again and again, your brain interprets it as identity. It says, this must be important. This must be who we are becoming. Over time, the image you repeat becomes the image you act from. Your identity is built from repeated self-images. If every day you see yourself as someone trying, you behave like someone trying. If every day you write, I am building this, your actions slowly align. You stop asking, should I do this today? And start asking, how do I do this better today? That's identity in motion. But here's where most people still fail. They focus on outcomes instead of inputs. They ask, am I successful yet? Is my life different yet? Did it work yet? When the answer is no, they feel discouraged and quit. But outcomes are delayed. Inputs are immediate. And the brain needs immediate feedback to stay engaged. High performers don't track dreams. They track actions. They don't measure success by results alone. They measure it by effort applied daily. Did I practice today? Did I study today? Did I show up even when it was uncomfortable? If yes, the day counts as a win. This shift is powerful because it builds self-respect. Confidence doesn't come from winning big. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. When you track your inputs, you create proof. Proof that you're disciplined. Proof that you're serious. Proof that you're no longer waiting for motivation to save you. Every action recorded is a message to your brain. I am someone who follows through. That message, repeated daily, is how trust with yourself is rebuilt. And once you trust yourself, momentum becomes inevitable. So decide. Write it down. Make it specific. Then stop obsessing over results and start honoring effort. Track what you do, not what you hope will happen. Because in the end, life does not reward the most talented or the most emotional. Life rewards the decided and ignores the confused. This is where everything becomes real, because once you have direction, the next battle is time. Not motivation, not talent, time. Every person on this planet wakes up with the same 24 hours. The difference between people who build powerful lives and people who stay stuck is not how much time they have, but how they treat it. Most people treat time like something to kill. They say, "I'm just killing time," without realizing they're killing their future. Time is not neutral. Every hour you spend is either building you or breaking you down. There is no pause button. Even when you're doing nothing, time is still shaping who you become. That's why you need a clear mental model, not willpower. I learned to divide the day into 4 simple time zones. The first is build time. This is sacred time. This is when you work on the thing that will change your life. Your skill, your body, your business, your craft, your discipline. This time must be protected. No phone, no multitasking, no noise. Even 1 or 2 focused hours a day in this zone, done consistently, can completely change your future. The second zone is learn time. This is when you feed your mind. Reading, studying, listening with intention, not entertainment. Real learning. Because if you stop learning, you stop growing. 1 focused hour a day in this zone compounds faster than almost anything else in life. The third zone is maintain time. These are responsibilities. Work, chores, family, commuting, daily tasks. You can't avoid them, but you can control them. The mistake most people make is letting maintenance consume the entire day. They stretch simple tasks into endless chaos because they live reactively instead of intentionally. The last zone is kill time. This is where dreams quietly die. Endless scrolling, mindless videos, gossip, distraction disguised as rest. I'm not saying you must eliminate this completely, but you must control it. Because this zone is designed to steal your attention without giving anything back. Distraction is the silent killer of ambition. It doesn't attack loudly. It numbs you slowly. And the brain was never built to multitask. Multitasking feels productive, but it destroys depth, clarity, and momentum. Deep focus is where real progress happens. 1 focused hour can outperform 10 distracted hours. I've seen people with only 2 free hours a day completely transform their lives because they used those hours with intention. And I've seen people with all the time in the world stay stuck because they wasted it emotionally. Time doesn't care how busy you feel. It only responds to structure. This is why you must design your day like a system, not follow your mood. Write your daily schedule. Decide in advance when you build, when you learn, and when you rest. Remove time killers aggressively. Turn off notifications. Create boundaries. Protect your focus like it matters, because it does. When you stop letting your emotions decide how you spend your hours, your life starts to move in one clear direction. And that's when time becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Time is either a weapon or a wound. You choose. This is the part most people don't want to hear, and that's exactly why it matters. Success is not exciting. It's not dramatic. It's not fueled by constant motivation. Success is boring actions done daily, long after the excitement disappears. That's the real game. Most people quit not because the work is hard, but because it's repetitive. They go to the gym for a week, feel sore, see no results, and stop. They practice speaking, feel awkward, sound bad, and quit. They start a business, post content for a month, get no response, and disappear. Not because they failed, but because they expected excitement instead of repetition. Repetition does not build excitement. Repetition builds power. And power is quiet. You don't feel strong while you're becoming strong. You feel bored. You feel impatient. You feel like nothing is happening. But under the surface, something is changing. Your nervous system is adapting. Your skills are sharpening. Your identity is shifting. Think about the gym. No one gets fit from one intense workout. They get fit from showing up again and again, doing the same basic movements week after week. Speaking works the same way. You don't become confident by one great conversation. You become confident by hundreds of small, uncomfortable repetitions. Business is the same. The same offers. The same systems. The same follow-ups. Repeated until competence replaces doubt. This is why silent discipline matters. When you talk too much about what you're doing, your brain gets dopamine without effort. You feel productive without building anything. Announcing plans feels like progress, but it steals energy from execution. That's why building in silence is powerful. You don't leak your focus. You don't absorb opinions. You don't perform. You work. Private progress creates public results. No one sees the boring mornings, the quiet nights, the days you showed up when nothing was happening. But one day, they see the outcome and call it talent, luck, or overnight success. They never see the repetition that built it. Boring is the doorway to mastery. The moment you stop resisting boredom and start respecting it, everything changes. You stop chasing motivation. You stop needing external validation. You start trusting the process because you understand the game. If you want excitement, scroll. If you want power, repeat. Choose one boring action that builds your future and do it every day. Protect it. Schedule it. Respect it. And don't negotiate with your feelings. Boring is not the enemy. Boring is the price of mastery. This is the final shift, and it's the one that decides everything. At the end of the day, your life is not controlled by your circumstances, your past, or other people. It is controlled by the voice inside your head. That inner voice decides whether you take action or hesitate, whether you persist or quit, whether you grow or stay small. Most people never realize this, so they live as followers of their thoughts instead of leaders of their minds. Your thoughts are not commands. They are suggestions. Fear, doubt, and resistance are not signs that you are incapable. They are signals that your brain is facing something unfamiliar. But when you believe every thought you think, you give your power away. You let fear decide your future. Mental leadership begins the moment you stop obeying your thoughts automatically and start guiding them intentionally. This is why belief is not a feeling. It is a skill built through action. You don't believe first and then act. You act first and belief follows. Every action you take creates evidence. Evidence changes belief. Belief reshapes identity. And identity determines behavior. This is the real chain of transformation. To train your mind, you need a simple system, not motivation. First, observe. When a negative thought appears, don't fight it. Just notice it. Create space between you and the thought. Second, question it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or protecting my comfort? Most fear collapses under honest questioning. Third, replace it. Don't leave the mind empty. Replace weak thoughts with directional ones. Not fake positivity, but grounded truth. Fourth, act. Action is the teacher. Even small actions send a powerful message to the brain that you are in control. Finally, review. At the end of the day, reflect. Where did you lead your mind? Where did it try to escape? Awareness builds control. When you can lead your thoughts, you can lead your actions. When you lead your actions, you lead your habits. And when you lead your habits, you lead your life. This is not motivation. Motivation fades. This is a system you apply daily, especially on the days you don't feel like it. If you take this seriously and repeat it, your life will not stay the same. You will stop reacting